What's up, fight fans? Greetings from the Wrestleverse. This is Lady J.
And this is Xyon. First time.
Welcome, man. We're
Thank
excited to have you join
I'm
us.
excited to be here.
And it's time to take it to the ring. What a wild ride it was last night in Orlando.
Yeah, the stars really came out last night and gave us an amazing performance, leaving fans standing all night, losing their voices, screaming over
NXT.
2 hours.
NXT.
2 hours of hardcore
NXT.
action. It was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of bad blood and tension between matchups. The night was filled with extreme contempt. Tell me about it.
Yeah. Last night, it was definitely a privilege to watch. If you have not been keeping up with NXT, you better find the nearest screen and catch up. But for now, here's your review of last night's NXT action.
The new, the reigning, defending NXT champion Bron Breakker addressed the people.
Yeah, the crowd let him know how he earned the title from Tommaso Ciampa. Yeah, and even the former champion even showed a lot of respect for his win.
Yeah, he should have. His daddy was in the crowd.
First time, too. The very first time his father came out. And, of course, it was to see his son take the title.
Oh, dang. Like, proud daddy moment.
Yeah, stars definitely aligned there.
And so he has to feel, he's got, like, this, he's got to defend his title. And so he's like,
shoes to fill.
Oh, yeah. And he's like, I'm going to forewarn all my challengers that
whoever dares step up to him better come correct.
Because he's there before they get to the gym. He's there after they leave the gym.
Yeah. Only time will tell. But right now, he has a lot of potential to break the record for the longest reigning champ in NXT history.
Give it up to Bron Breakker, people.
Yeah.
But so he gave that open challenge, right? And then there's this awkward break between that and Santos Escobar coming in. We're like,
yeah, a real tense stare down to start off, but that's just gonna have to wait because he has a challenge in front of him with Xyon Quinn.
Dude, Xyon Quinn is so badass. And this fight was like a machismo matchup. It was like those epic battles of Greeks, like the whole Helen of Troy with Elektra. Who's gonna win her love?
Yeah, all for the heart of Elektra Lopez, who was actually in the crowd that night.
Oh, she's pretty bad.
Yeah, for sure. Xyon started out extremely strong, absolutely pouring a beat down on Santos.
But after several distractions from his henchmen and possibly the biggest betrayal by Elektra herself.
Yeah. Escobar was able to pull out the win.
Dude.
It was crazy.
Dude, and fans were completely shocked. They're like, why did she choose Escobar?
Yeah, like what did he have over Quinn? Like, we're going to have to see what La Familia has in store.
This is far from over.
Very far from over. We need answers.
The people need answers.
Yeah. Next up, Cameron Grimes looked to continue his white hot streak from last year as he faced a promising wrestling prospect.
He even shaved. I was like, oh, when did he shave?
Yeah, he's trying to put on a new persona for sure.
Yeah, well, Kemp, he's a 3-time wrestling state champion with this impressive amateur career.
Yep, but he was still no match for Grimes as he finished Kemp with his signature cave-in straight to the face.
Yeah. With this win, Grimes is really making a statement by backing up his chase for gold instead of for the green.
Yeah, coming into 2022, the moon, like he likes to say, it's gonna go crazy.
Oh, but dang, the hairs on the back of my neck stood up when Joe Gacy and Harland made their tag team debut.
Yep, against Idris Eno and Malik Blade.
They're so cool, though.
Yeah, they were. Gacy exhibited a ton of power several times against
beefy boy.
Yeah, he has Harland, but he showed he really doesn't have to rely on him on his walking murder weapon for an easy win.
So Harland was eventually tagged in though, and in typical Harland fashion, things immediately went way too far.
To say the least, man. Harland absolutely destroyed the two opponents.
I thought we were going to see a freaking ear in the mat the way he was grinding at the.
It was bad, but luckily the ref stepped in, immediately DQ'd the duo. But unfortunately, that turned the attention to the ref.
Poor ref. The ref's like, whoa,
the ref was sitting there begging for his life.
He was like a bull seeing red, and the ref was like, good God, man.
Luckily for the ref, though, Gacy was able to rein him in.
But he's got like that voodoo thing.
Yeah, some puppet mastery going on.
I totally agree.
But these two have a lot of potential to be a devastating duo in the tag team world. But unless they can rein in Harland's like rage,
there are rules. There are like the no DQ matches, but there are rules, and if they might waste their talent if they can't figure that out.
Yeah. But all props to Idris Eno and Malik Blade for sure. They showed fantastic chemistry together.
I'm looking forward to see them move on in the Dusty Rhodes Classic.
Oh yeah, if they can pull off those same combos like they did against Joe Gacy, it's gonna be a wild ride.
Tag team magic.
Yeah. So if, like I said, if they keep it up, they're gonna have a really strong showing. And
I'm glad they didn't get hurt too bad.
Yeah, me too, because they seem to like really be in good spirits after. Yeah. Next up, we had Tony D'Angelo and Pete Dunne in a really unique crowbar on a pole match.
I haven't seen this before.
Yeah, that was the very first time I've seen it too. And basically all it is it's a singles match, and then they put a crowbar on like these chains.
Yeah, it was like up in the corner turnbuckle.
Yeah. So then the first person that reaches it, you get to use it for the rest of the match, and it's legal.
No DQs, even with a crowbar.
No DQs. So Pete Dunne, of course, was really excited for this match because he wanted revenge after getting his hand broken, ironically, by a crowbar by Tony D'Angelo.
Dude, D'Angelo simply stated that he wanted to put Dunne in his place once and for all.
The ensuing match was absolutely brutal. They just took turns just beating each other senseless with this crowbar.
They totally have seemed to have forgotten the rules. Like, you got one weapon, you take an inch and you get a mile, and then they're like, we're gonna get the chair.
Yep, they brought the chair out, and luckily though, the ref was able to take it from them.
He's like, nope, no chairs for you guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Because then they want the friggin' tables after that. You get the tables and the ladders and the chairs.
It was gonna get crazy if the ref didn't actually show up.
Just doing his job.
Yeah. But Dunne was definitely able to finally show Tony what it feels like to be on the opposite end of that crowbar.
Oh yeah, payback.
Yeah. But it wasn't enough.
As Tony, he was able to end this vicious contest after a devastating blow to the head of Dunne.
Yeah. After such an intense match, though, it would be like expected for the feud to end after this. But with such bad blood between them, there's no way that they're just going to let things end the way that they did.
Unless some of us fight kitties have been speculating Dunne might be going to the main roster.
That would be a cool
he was behind the scenes with Tommaso Ciampa, so we're kind of setting some little wagers on the side.
Well, D'Angelo better not be too far behind, because I want to see them on the main spotlight.
All right, on for some ladies action. Indy Hartwell, Persia Pirotta, and Wendy Chu faced Casey Catanzaro, Kaden Carter, and Amari Miller. Yeah,
it was a wild 6-woman tag team match. And Wendy Chu was the biggest surprise of all. She was the only option, it seemed, for Indy and Persia to fight.
Yeah, they needed a third girl.
They just picked her up as she was sleeping.
Yeah, so like this completely nonchalant and excessively cozy Chu. She showed up to the match in a full onesie, body pillow, and her Starbucks cup.
Yeah, she looked like she would be like an absolute non-factor the entire match, while Casey, Kaden, and Amari were jumping off the top rope, just beating the other two senseless. But luckily, Wendy Chu got tagged in and just started demolishing Amari Miller.
I was shocked. The arena was shocked, and she demolished Amari Miller.
Yeah, her performance definitely shifted the momentum, and it got Indy. Indy was actually able to pin Miller after her pretty savage finisher from the top rope. Yeah.
I secretly loved this match just because of like the fighting freaking teddy bear.
Yeah. Oh man, it was really entertaining to watch. But the 5 women, other than Chu, really learned a lesson.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Never underestimate your opponent.
Or your ally. Never ever underestimate who goes.
Life lessons from wrestling.
Yeah. Next up, we had one of the most exciting matches that we've seen so far, but definitely the most exciting match of the night.
Solo Sikoa and Boa.
Yeah.
Vicious. It was all vicious.
Now, Solo Sikoa, as we know, is part of the Uso bloodline. Yeah. So Boa actually snuck him in the parking lot last week. So he was looking to get that vengeance on Boa.
They showed zero regard for their own safety throughout this entire match, just as long as the other guy would get more damage. Yeah.
Sikoa actually jumped through the ring into Boa, knocking them both down into the
I mean,
floor.
They needed this to be a no contest match because of the way it was rolling.
Yeah, so they missed the 10 count, but they didn't seem to care.
No.
Yeah, they continued to fight on the floor, moving all the way backstage, using every single weapon that was available to them around. Like anything in reach was getting thrown as the refs were just like trying to stop them. Yeah, just begging them to stop.
The match finally ended after Boa's evil alter ego somehow the fire came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
I was like, wait, where did that come from?
How did he even do that? Yeah, it was impressive, but they're not gonna leave.
You can't finish it that way. Like that's like no.
That was a cheap shot, and Sikoa would be back. We can count on that for sure. Lastly, man,
this one's been built up. We've seen Grayson over on the main roster harassing AJ Styles,
and AJ Styles finally was able to come against him.
It wasn't his first time going to NXT.
Yeah, his very first time. But credit where credit is due, man. Grayson Waller was able to really hold his own.
Oh yeah,
took the legend to town.
So, man, showmanship was on display the entirety of this match.
Yeah, there were several huge moments where Waller almost pinned AJ Styles. He was so close several times, like just a half second more, and he would have pulled one of the biggest upsets in WWE history.
However, the tenacity and the experience of the phenomenal one carried Styles to victory as he was finally able to connect his phenomenal forearm to Waller.
It took him a minute, but he was finally able to connect it and got that pin. And you know he had to get the mic and started showing out. He started gloating to Waller, telling him he may be good, but he's definitely not phenomenal. He then brought out LA Knight, who we haven't seen in weeks.
I was just literally asking about him, and it's like, here he comes.
Yeah, he came back actually after Waller attacked him a few weeks ago. That's the last time that we saw him, so he was able to get some vengeance out.
Clear the ring, down the freaking ramp. Yeah, AJ Styles and LA Knight. That embrace.
Yeah, they like hugged it out afterwards, like to show each other some respect for their mutual hatred for Waller.
All this bromance.
Waller was able to run away. So yeah, there's gonna definitely be some more main events with Waller. Maybe still getting beat down, but definitely it'll be entertaining.
Yeah. So we got a whole lot going on in NXT.
Yeah.
I mean, after Von Wagner's unwarranted outburst against Andre Chase.
Oh, yeah. And all his students when he went into the crowd last week. Yeah. So they announced last night earlier in the match or in the event that he was going to be fined and suspended.
Ooh,
but then they later turned it around, announced he was no longer being suspended and somebody paid the fine.
Who paid the fine?
They didn't say. But that leads to that leads to us starting to speculate who's after Andre Chase.
Yeah.
Somebody wants them out. Somebody wants Andre Chase University to be gone. So we're gonna have we're gonna watch out for that. Next we had MSK.
They stumbled upon the Dusty Rhodes championship trophy.
They just were like looking at it and talking about how they wanted to get it again because they won it before. So
and then Dakota Kai comes out of nowhere and she's like, I predict the you guys gonna be winning the tournament? All this like weird stuff that they do.
Yeah, but then she left it like on an ominous note almost when she like told them to their face, you know, nothing divides friendship more than success, and just laughed away, like laughed and walked off.
Oh yeah.
So
the mere thought of MSK breaking up is unfathomable.
Yeah. There's no way. The chemistry that they have, and they're always in good spirits around each other.
Yeah, but if they got like that weird woo thing going on, you don't want to jinx them.
Yeah, hopefully she didn't, because that would be crazy. Yeah. Lastly, the newly crowned unified North American champ, Carmelo Hayes, took to the ring to celebrate his victory last week. And he showed a lot of leftover contempt for Roderick Strong, because, you know, they had some real bad blood. You know, before he continued his tirade about how he would keep his title, nobody was going to take it from him.
He was looking good. Did you see him roll up in that Bentley?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. With that varsity.
I guess the money came quick, too.
Yeah, that was real quick.
Yeah. But after his performance last week, you know, his swagger, it has...
He's got that swagger going right now.
It's got some validity to it. Because, like... Yeah,
that was a huge challenge.
It was probably the biggest challenge he's faced in his career so far. But that didn't stop Cameron Grimes from showing up. Yeah,
he wanted to check out his ride, check out the scene.
You know how disrespectful it is to touch somebody's car like that?
This must be a dude thing.
Yeah. Like, you know, you don't touch somebody's thing, so it was. Yeah, that was
like, you don't touch your hair, you don't touch your car.
Yeah, no, don't touch people's stuff. But Grimes told him straight up to his face that he's coming for that title. So, you know, with Carmelo Hayes on this streak, it'll definitely still be one of another big challenge for him.
I'm looking forward to Cameron Grimes. I mean, now that he's like all clean cut and taking this a little more seriously.
Yeah, it looks to me like he's going to be a real threat for that title. Yeah.
All right, you guys. Here at Take It to the Ring, we like to give all the fights a rating. Number 5 being Fight Forever. Number 4, This Is Awesome. Number 3, You Still Got It. Number 2 is What? Number 1 is boring. Like, watch us. We're going to be so much more entertaining.
Right, exactly.
All right, so what do you think about this night?
Man, there was no match that got less than a 4, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would give it a 4.
Yeah,
because it wasn't like fight forever. Like, keep it going. But I'm like, yeah, that was a good. This is awesome.
It kept things interesting the entire time, and that's all you can ask for as a fan. You know, if it keeps me on my feet and it keeps me watching, that's what I want.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, be sure to let us know in the comments. Keep liking, subscribe to this channel for more updates. Because, you know, we'll be here.
Yeah, more WrestleCap videos. Click that link below. Until next time, I'm Lady J.
I'm Xyon.
Keep it lucha.